Hi YouTube. As I said before, I was going to show a little bit of sharpening and modification for the modification of my GI Tonto, and that's what I'm doing. So here you go. I've been kind of hinting at it for a while, and I've decided to go ahead and show it to you. This is my newest method of sharpening, and in fact, come to find out through some testing and through things like that, for the type of edge that we need as bushcrafters and as defensive arts people and martial arts and everything like that, this way is actually better. It's actually faster to sharpen with. It's actually a better edge. It holds the edge longer. It's arguably sharper, and it's definitely more resilient. So I think I've found the main thing for us. Understand that most of the edge that we're sold through the mechanisms that are the blade sellers and the blade manufacturers, they all want to give you this nice, clean, smooth razor type edge. The problem with that is that razor edge needs to be constantly sharpened. It needs to be constantly worked with. It's just a pain. And to get a razor edge on an extremely hard knife, it's really hard to do. It takes a long time on a stone. It takes, it takes effort, and that's why the carbide sharpeners or the scraper sharpeners have become so popular. But even there, then you're ending up with a scraped off edge that, yeah, it works, and yeah, it's sharp, and yeah, it's, but it's still a thin buffed razor edge. Now think about it this way. An edge on a knife, microscopically anyway, even with the razor nice smooth edges, is basically more or less constructed like a saw. So in other words, you've got jagged parts on that edge. So the idea then is to make even a smooth blade be like a saw. Well, why don't we just go ahead and save ourselves the time and use a chainsaw file, which is actually the one file that I've found that works the best, especially with harder type steel, like the Cold Steel GI Tonto, and use that. So basically, once again, like I've used with the machete, once again we're going to be looking at the angle of the thing. Okay, so here's your angle. Yeah, it's a very thin, shallow angle. Yeah, it is. It's a very small and slight angle in relation to the blade. The reason why it is because I want to have a razor sharp edge on my knife. So, with that said and being done, most of the time with other knives or knife straight from the manufacturer, they commonly have an edge, an angle like that. I want an angle like that. So that's typically how I sharpen my blades. So I'm going to go ahead and run a few passes with this one and let you get a good look at it while I'm doing that, and then we'll go on to the next activity. So I'm not going to spend a whole long time sharpening a blade. That's just on one side. And you can start to see where it's actually now I'm actually resetting the angle right along that edge. Try to get that close so you guys can see that. I'm actually resetting that angle. And yeah, the edge is going to look ugly. Yeah, it's going to look ugly. But that's okay, as long as it's sharp. This knife is not for a beauty contest. This knife is for doing what I need it to do. Okay? Anyway, so once you got that angle set and that edge set on one side, then you just flip it over and continue. So I'm going to do that. Okay, now I realize that I just got back with the other side. In fact, you might be able to still see the metal flakes from the sharpening. Anyway, I realize that there's going to be some naysayers that say, oh, you're using a file, oh, that won't work. Okay, proof's in the pudding. You can actually see my hair on the side, on the edge of that knife. I appreciate your comments, I appreciate your views, I appreciate your time. Defend your homes wisely.